Good morning and welcome to the morning update. My name is Marco and today is Thursday the 1st of June and I'm going to wish everyone good luck for the trading month ahead. White rabbits, I believe, is a superstitious saying. So I wish you all the luck. Now, basically, yesterday we saw a transition in the markets from the news that I was giving out yesterday. We saw a decent rally, or I should say a sell-off in the US dollar, which, to be fair, the previous day's price action sort of indicated that, but my belief still was that we would see the dollar push on. But with the weeks, or I should say the news announcements this week, I'm guessing that potentially there's people or traders out there that are just sitting on the sidelines, maybe reducing their position sizings, or even just coming out of the market and waiting to see what direction the market takes, which would be the sensible route. And that'll be the route that most of our traders at Phoenix Blue will be taking. We banked early profits in the week, and now it's a matter of hold on to those profits and look for opportunities next week. Okay, so what news have we had? So overnight we had a couple of news announcements, or I should say early hours of this morning, from Australia. Private capital expenditure came in slightly worse than forecast, but retail sales absolutely smashed. Previous forecasts of 0.3 came in at 1%. The downside to that was there was bad news coming out of China, which effectively put the Aussie dollar in a little sell-off throughout the early hours of this morning. It is recovering back up to the 7400 area, but we'll wait to see what happens with the US dollar news later today and tomorrow. So more imminently, we've got the 9:30 sterling news, manufacturing PMI. We've got a forecast of 56.5. Now, manufacturing isn't the biggest market, or I should say factor for the UK. However, anything over 50 is shown as expansion. Our main producer of revenue in the UK here is services. So that would be the major one that I'd be watching that will give us a huge kick on the sterling price. So manufacturing, we're looking for a number greater than 50 and potentially something greater than 56.5. It shows we're still in expansion, but a better than forecast number would be nice. Then at 115, this is where the markets will start to swing. We've got the ADP non-farm employment change. Okay, so we're expecting a slightly better number than last month, coming at 181,000. So this will be the number of jobs created outside of the farming sector. Then at 130, we've got unemployment claims. Then we've got ISM manufacturing PMI. So we were looking for a big number here from the US. All these numbers here are going to be very, very key to a potential rate hike next week. So let's see what happens. We're going to see some huge volatility, I believe, today and tomorrow around the US news announcements. So if you aren't trading, use the time wisely, sit on the sidelines and wait till next week. Let the market give us a clue of which way it's going to go, and then we can then take advantage of that opportunity. If you are already in trades, then manage it according to your rules. Maybe look at taking some profit off if you are in profit prior to these news announcements. If you're not, well then let's hope the news announcements do you a favor. Then 4 p.m. we've got crude oil inventories. It says that affecting the US dollar, but for those that don't know, the major correlation with crude oil is the Canadian dollar. So watch the Canadian dollar in and around this time for any fluctuations. They do talk about forecasts and whether the market meets or beats expectations. The problem with oil is there's so many variables that if you do see reserves lower than forecast or greater than forecast, sometimes it doesn't have the reaction that you might possibly think. Rationale for this is there's so many different variables that it's very hard to judge of how the market is going to react. So the safest way to trade these news announcements is don't trade them, sit on the sidelines and wait for your technicals to play out. Okay, so DX. So yesterday when I was giving the morning update, what we saw was this candle here, and I said we'd had a big gap up, and a close below. So you've got a big bearish engulfing candle, and then it was somewhere in and around here when we spoke. And as you can see, this market sold off quite aggressively, coming back down into what was an area of where we had a commitment of traders signal, where the market had gone long. The commercials were actively buying this market, and I said I'm looking for a push up in dollar strength short term, which we may still get. This may be a test of structure. It may be a failure. We may produce a double bottom. But with the news surrounding today and tomorrow, I'm not actually going to trade anything now. So, and you can see it's not that I'm being cautious and hedging my bets, saying it may go long, it may go short. Come Friday, I'll know whether we've had a rejection of this level, and I'm not prepared to risk capital now going in at this level based off a signal today. So what I'll do is I'll wait till Sunday night, see how the market opens, see what price we got on Friday, price action, and that'll give me an indication of whether we're going to see a short-term rally or whether we're going to break through and we can look to trade from the level moving forward. Now you'll see that this moving forward gives a very similar picture on euro dollar. Now I also said yesterday, which I still believe in, is the commercials have got an all-time high in short contracts right now. So what that means is the commercials are actively selling euro very, very aggressively. Now, the question is, are we going to form this double top, or is it going to push a little bit higher into the 1.272 extension of the last move? And if we are, then what we'll see is we'll see those commercials increasing their short contracts even further, pushing up into around the 1.1450, which is where the 127 extension is, even up to the big number, the even handle 1.15. My preference was I'd like to see a sell-off before we get that push up, but listen, at the end of the day, trading's trading. We're going to take some losses, we're going to get some wins, but right now it's a matter of sit on the sideline and see what happens from this market. Dollar yen, well, to me there's just no clarity. I'm just stay out of this market right now. Sterling, apologies yesterday, guys. I didn't come back to the chart. We were expecting a further sell-off in sterling based on the shock announcement from YouGov and the poll claiming that the Tories were probably going to miss out on a majority vote by about 16 seats, so we could end up with a hung parliament come June the 8th on the elections. So what do we see here? Well, we're operating within a range, then we broke out, and then it's come back down to test the range. And for all intents and purposes, it looked like we were going to break this range, but the buyers came in, they've pushed the market back up, and now we're sat in this little awkward area here. This is a parallel channel here formed. Now we've got our 4 points, and we're sat in this little trap range. So the question is, there's nothing really to do here either. It's going to have to break one way or the other, and so let's just sit on the sidelines. We'll get a direction. There may be an opportunity if you get some price failure from support again to trade it, but I'd be very aggressive with my stops. Alternatively, let it break through and then look to trade it back down towards the bottom of this channel. So Kiwi, again, COT signals played out beautifully. We've broken through this little area of resistance. It's now coming back to test, but again, it's early in the day. We've got today and tomorrow's news. Is it something I want to be trading? No, not really. So I'm just going to sit on the sidelines. Final FX chart we're looking at today is dollar CAD. This is one that I was saying that we'd wait and be patient and wait for a pullback to 135.70 to then get short. So we saw a bullish move. This is the only market that the dollar was stronger than yesterday. We saw a nice big bullish move for the dollar against the Canadian dollar. We're up in the early 130, close to the 135s, 134.90. So another 80 pips or so, which we could quite easily get through today and tomorrow. And we'll look to get a short trade potentially in and around that 135.70, 135.80 area, and run that down towards the 133s. And last but not least, we're going to look at gold. So predominantly what we're seeing here with gold on the higher time frame is we're seeing a succession of higher highs and higher lows. If we look at the way this market is moving through here in around the 1266, 1270, you can see how this market is stalling and stuttering. Now we broke through the support trend line and it's been retesting it, so it's now using it as resistance. The red zone here was a fib level that I've left on. Is there anywhere for me to trade this? Well, obviously I could either buy it or sell it, which would just be a guess. And we don't do that. So we're looking for a change in momentum. Short term, you've got a short term trend line through here. Could look for a break of this. So you've got a rising wedge through here. Ultimately, we could see a break and go back above this resistance trend line, and then we'd look for sort of an extension of this move here, probably taking us up into around the 1300s. So that's it from the morning update today, guys. June the 14th, we have a free trading event. There's no commitment. All it is, drop us an email if you'd like to attend, or click on the link just here at Eventbrite, and come and join us. Come and meet the team. Come and see how Phoenix Blue trade. If you've never traded before, don't worry about it. We'll send out full setup instructions. It's going to be from 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Any questions prior to the event, should you be considering, just drop us an email, info@phoenixblue.co.uk. Remember, we are on social media. We do put out a lot of information on social media. On Instagram stories is where we'll do a lot of our charting. Facebook, Twitter, you'll find us all on Phoenix Blue Trading. Okay, guys, that's it from today. So listen, it's June the 1st. Start the month off as you mean to go on, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Happy trading. Bye-bye.